Can you look over your left shoulder, please? And over here, left. Yeah. Can you wave again? Yeah. Thank you.
This way, this way. Maybe you try to have this. Look up to the right, please.
This way, down.
가운데 보실게요.
Down first row, please.
조금 머리 낮추시고요.
And over here, please. Middle, left
왼쪽
corner.
한 번만 더 보실게요.
This sir, down.
And right here, please.
Down first row,
There. Can you refresh your...
please. One ear.
And over your left shoulder, please. Thank you.
And one more
Please.
time on the left.
This way.
오, 좋다.
On the left.
Yeah, one like this.
And one on the left.
Say, look up to us on the left.
Yes, please, sir. Sir, yeah.
Wow.
좋습니다.
One more. Here, please. Thank you.
And over the left, with the hurt, please. With the hurt. To the left, with the hurt, please. With the hurt. With the hurt. Yeah. Thank you.
This way.
Chorus in first row.
Down first row, please.
Please look up to the right.
This way, down first row.
Down
Please,
here, the
please.
corner. Corner, please.
Okay.
More left.
Left hand corner.
And straight ahead, please.
Left.
Middle. Here.
Yeah.
On the left.
Please.
Very good. Thank you.
And to the left, please. Over your shoulder, please. Over your left shoulder, please.
Please, this way.
Over your left shoulder, please.
One look here, please.
Please, this way. This way, here.
One look.
On the left.
Thank you.
On the
Thank
left.
you. This way.
And to the left, please.
Yeah.
Don't forget the left,
This way.
please.
Thank you. Unforgettable.
Please.
And don't forget the left, please.
This way,
Left.
Together, right here, straight ahead.
this way, here.
Here down.
And here, please.
Corner. The corner.
One more. Here, please.
More left. It's more left. Here, yes. Yes. Good.
One like this, here.
And turn. Here. Yeah, thank you.
This way. This way, please. This way, here. Down, first row.
And over your left shoulder, please. Thank you.
Please.
Here.
And straight ahead.
Left.
One here, one here. Here.
Corner here.
To the left.
One last look here, please. Thank you very much.
This way, here.
There. And straight ahead, please. There, look up to the right.
This way, down, first row. Here.
There.
And down to left.
And back.
And over here to the left, please.
Sir.
Thank you.
There, look up to the right, please.
Sir.
To the left.
And back to the middle, please.
And one, two,
Yeah. 선생님 계시면은 위험하게 막 하세요.
Please.
More left.
Here.
There.
Left.
This way.
And turn around to
Look
the left,
up,
please.
look up together, please.
And here.
And together right here in the middle, please. Right here.
And turn here over the left. Yeah. Thank you.
Look up on the right again, please. Class. Miss, miss.
This way, in.
To the left. Miss.
감독님 단독사진 먼저 찍고 전체
To be trusted. Nice to
This
see
way.
you again.
Here. Here. Sir, this way.
Here. And back to the middle, please.
And to the left, please. Yeah, thank you.
And here.
Sarah, look up on the right, please. Sarah, please.
This way.
Look up on the left. Look up on the right, please.
And more left, more left, more left, more left. More left here. Thank you.
감독님 잠깐 기다리시면 배우들하고 다 같이 들어오시겠어요?
Closer.
Now go together in the middle.
This way, here.
Down here. The first row, please.
Look up on the
This
right,
way,
please.
this way
Look up
down.
on the right.
And again straight ahead.
And all to the left.
Here.
Please.
Here, please.
Now,
On the right,
turn a
Right
bit.
again, please.
Can you all turn?
Yes. I like the photographer in the background. Can you come a little bit more? More. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just last year, Korean director Hong Sang-soo was in the Berlinale competition, winning the Grand Jury Prize, the second most important award for A Traveler's Needs, starring Isabelle Huppert. He's a regular guest at the Berlinale, this year for the 8th time, with What Does That Nature Say to You? This film highlights his subtle sense of humor and fine grasp of human behavior. It tells the story of a day full of pitfalls. A poet meets his lover's family for the first time. Watch the press conference with Hong Sang-soo, who once again did everything himself, directing, cinematography, editing, writing, producing, and creating the music score.
매일 밤 이렇게 침대 맡에서 준이에게 사랑한다고 그렇게 많이 얘기해줬다고 그런 얘기들 정말 잘 알고 있습니다. 그랬어? 오늘 이렇게 뵈니까 준이가 받은 그 사랑이 뭐 어떤 분한테 이렇게 받은 그 사랑인지 저는 조금 알 것 같습니다. 느껴집니다. 고맙다.
Good morning and welcome to the press conference for the film What Does That Nature Say to You? That we are presenting here in the competition at the 75th edition of the Berlinale, directed by Hong Sang-soo. It is his 33rd feature, and my name is Mathilde Rowe, and I'm going to ask you to welcome warmly the team of the film. I'm going to start with the other end of the table. She's wonderful in What Does That Nature Say to You? And the Berlinale audience discovered her in director Hong Sang-soo's film at the Berlinale last year, A Traveler's Needs, Kong So-hee. He seems to embody perfectly the young poet in director Hong Sang-soo's film, as he was already one in Hong Sang-soo's film, The Woman Who Ran, for their first collaboration in 2020. Since then, they have rejoined on a number of films, namely a year later, in 2021 for the film Introduction, and more recently in the film By the Stream, Ha Seong-guk. He is one of South Korea's most emblematic and most prolific directors, and the Berlinale was very pleased that 5 of his previous films were screening in competition and won awards. In 2017, On the Beach at Night Alone, Kim Min-hee won the Best Actress. In 2020, The Woman Who Ran got the award of Best Director. In 2021, Introduction won Best Screenplay. And in 2022, the novelist film won Grand Jury Prize. A Traveler's Need last year scooped the Grand Jury Prize. Director Hong Sang-soo. She's one of the very close and regular collaborators of director Hong Sang-soo, acting almost every year in his films for almost a decade, and namely A Traveler's Needs. She is the mother and the poet Cho Yun-hee. One of South Korea's very great actor and a long-time actor in director Hong Sang-soo's film, namely in the Berlinale film, The Woman Who Ran, and also in the film The Day After. In addition to his acting career, he's also known for his activism in political and social justice causes. Kwon Hae-hyo. So I'm going to ask the first question, and then I'll invite you to raise your hand so I can invite you to ask the question to the team. So to director Hong Sang-soo, we love to discover in each of your films your unique exploration of our human nature. And in this film, you focus your attention on one family and one member who is also on the threshold of becoming a family member. Do you want to maybe tell us a little bit about this decision to focus on one family?
How can I say? I don't start from the message type of idea. For example, I want to say this message, so I use this material. I don't do that. I just, what I call what is given is very important. So at the time, what was given was actually these people were all there. We are kind of what was that party occasion? I don't know. It was a small party, and she was there too. And I just heard that her parents live in the countryside, and etc. And I kind of imagined a certain type of parents living in very quiet, small place, things like that. And then she said her father raised chicken himself, things like that. And so I just jokingly said to her, maybe your parents should invite me. And she actually asked her parents, and then they said, oh, they want me to come, and they said they want to have this nice meal with the chicken. So I went there. That was the beginning. I had this experience with their parents, with her, and actually the Ha Sang-guk, this guy is actually boyfriend of her. So he came with me too. So we had a whole day together. And I just decided this can be the material for the film, and then that was the orders given to me. And then the process started. What I usually do, choose a location and the people, and the weather comes when I shoot. I accept the weather, whatever weather comes. And these three elements, I come up with something, and then one by one, this detail becomes a structure. And that's how I made it, I think.
Thank you. Yes, the question here.
감사합니다.
Hello. It was an astonishing work. It's Yannis Rauzos from myfilm.gr in Greece. I would like to address one question in 3 levels. One, how much you use the photography and some special elements in this photographical, let's say, portrait of the film to describe poetry in general, because I feel that this film, this work, is mainly about the poetic feeling. Secondly, tell me about the contradiction and the relation between these two types of poets, this character and that character. I mean, they seem so equal. I mean, they work together, but they are so contradictory. And at the end, is poetry and cinema a way of expressing our deepest existential attitude, an attitude that cannot be described by words, but only by pictures, even if these pictures using words? Thank you.
It's very nice of you saying all that. And I don't know what I should say. Every detail in the film, in a way, I can say I meant it, but not in the way that they serve as a tool to express one idea. I accept them as a piece, and another piece, and another piece, and then this piece come together, becomes one whole thing. And so I'm always very reluctant to say why I made this film, what my film intended to mean something, because there are actually many positioning, many stereotypes, many, how can I say, non-verbal expressions. I mean, many things are mingled into this body of work. So if I choose one line, then maybe I can talk about one thing, but that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to put all these things somehow mingled into one. So one person can go through the work and pick up different elements and come up with one kind of appreciation. And a person can go through and pick up different elements, come up with a very different appreciation of the film. That's what I want. So I'm very reluctant to say why I made this. I wanted to express this one big idea, things like that.
Yeah, there's a question here.
Yeah, first, thanks a lot for the movie. I wanted to ask you, your films seem very fascinated with language. In Traveler's Need, the main character is a poet. In Traveler's Need, the main character is a language teacher, and in this movie, the main character is a poet. And also in your own movies, dialogue is ever present. There is almost no silent moments. So I was curious, what draws you to language as such a central element in your storytelling? Thank you.
Thank you. Again, I don't know. I kind of, in a good sense, I react to the material, what was given to me. I didn't intend to make a talkative film, anything like that. If you can believe me, I just didn't know anything. So maybe a very important thing for me is first at the beginning. I more and more I appreciate this. The reason I started working with her, for example, was I had this small gathering, and he was with me, and we were talking about something, and then I was asking him, what are you doing? And then she talked about girlfriend, and I didn't know he had a girlfriend. And then he said, actually, she's outside waiting for me. And she drove him to the place, but she was shy and she couldn't come in. So I asked her to come in, and then I realized that she wanted to become an actress too. So I started working with her. But this, it's a good example. I think that happening, that process is, I really appreciate that kind of thing. For example, if I can make an example. Okay, this actor is very famous and very powerful and very talented, and is things like that. And then I want to use him. Okay, that's one kind of appreciation and intention and things like that, and the process. But I don't see much value in that kind of process. I see this, this example is. So what is given is always very unexpected and very nice. You know what I mean? Okay.
Maybe it's something also the actors can talk about, like from the script, as you were saying, the words are really important. How do you work with director Hong Sang-soo, for example? Do you have a specific script that you receive every day, or you rehearse a lot? Maybe do you want to share with us?
네, 홍상수 감독의
Yes, director Hong Sang-soo
작업 방식이야. 많은 분들이 이미 알고 계실
겁니다. has a specific style of working. On the day he works and on the day prior to shooting, we get to know what the shooting is going to be about. And then we study it together. We have a rehearsal and prepare the shoot. So it's a story we receive early in the morning. And that also requires us to concentrate a lot. And also the rhythm, how we work together, also requires us to rehearse repeatedly before we go into shooting. And all actors, I can tell you, they
양독을
always
하든 계획 속에서 연기를
prepare
하는데 비해서
a shoot.
홍상수 감독과의 작업에서는
And the
그런
difference
것보다는
to
바로 나에게
working
닥친
with
상대의
director
반응을
Hong is that
있는 그대로 받아들이고
you have to
나의
accept
진심을
how
다해서
the other
이야기하는
person
방식.
acts
그래서
and
촬영할
have
때
to focus on
어떤
how you
다른
are
작업에서
telling
못
your
느끼는
story. And
자유로움
this is a
그리고
freedom
저
that I
안에서 제가
have
몰랐던
with
부분이
director Hong's films that I
조금씩
don't have
보여주는
with other
것들 이런
films.
것들을 영화 속에서
And
만날 때 무척 기쁘고
whenever
즐거운
I
경험인 것 같습니다.
experience these kinds of elements, I'm really happy.
Thank you. Yes, there is a question here.
Good morning, Márcio Salem from Brazil. It's an honor to be in the presence of a genius like yourself, Mr. Hong Sang-soo. I admire you not just as a great filmmaker, but also as a great film teacher. And in your body of work, we see frequently the figure of a poet. And I will follow up the questions of my fellow critics, journalists. How would you define cinematic poetry? And do you think it's dying nowadays with social media and streaming services? Thank you.
Even though I try very hard to define anything, next day I can change it easily. So making definition for some people very useful, but for people like me it's useless. Instead of people like me should just jump in and working, making, producing something, and don't waste any more time in defining something. I kind of gave up quite a long time ago the idea that you should know something so you can do a good job. I think I believe in the process. So a few things you should know, maybe, but that few things is not, how can I say, so don't say this one idea, this destination or one big idea or one strong effect, things like that. It's just the things are given to me, and then I feel like it, so I just grab them, and then I position them in somewhere here, and then I believe in my process. I just jump in every day, and then these things somehow make connection. And okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Mariona Borrull from Fotogramas, Spain. A question for director Hong. In relation to what you just said, I really admired your answer. Do you think as a filmmaker you have to have fun while filming or while shooting something? Thank you.
I don't know. I can call it just fun. It's so sometimes feel desperate, but with the enjoyment. Maybe I like to put myself in that position. Very desperate, but I have no risk of killing someone, things like that. Just very desperate, and I have acquired few skills, and I have thought about the attitude I should have in responding to certain things, events, stereotypes, things like that. And so I jump in.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, there's a question here.
Hello, good morning and good evening. Thank you for the film. I have two questions for the actors. Does the film take place in the 60s or in the 50s? or nowadays? Because I noticed that the two boys and girls, they are in a relationship for 3 years, but they don't give a kiss on the mouth. I mean a French kiss even, and they don't have any physical relationship. And it seems very strange to me that a 35 years old boy and girl don't have any kind of physical or emotional relationships, like a simple kiss on the mouth. That's why I wonder in what period of the time that the film takes place, or why do they behave like this? Thank you.
You are asking me?
To the actors.
The actors.
To the actors.
I'm sure they do all those things in other times.
저한테도
For me as well, I have a son as a daughter, and even my son, who has a girlfriend of 10 years, doesn't show this kind of affection in front of his parents, us. And in the film, it's a couple in their 30s. And for us, it didn't seem weird, but now I see that it might seem awkward for you.
저희에게는 뭐 특별한 일이 아니었던 것 같습니다.
For us, it didn't strike us as unusual.
아마 제 생각에는
I think that
말씀하신 것처럼
just as the director has said,
영화상의 내용에 필요한 부분을 선택을 해서 쓰신
he
거고
has chosen parts that were necessary for the story of the film. And I'm sure that the lovers also share physical affection when the camera is off.
Yeah, there's a question here. And then
a question here from Brazil, Rodrigo Fonseca, C7. Congratulations for your body of work. I would like to hear you about the sound engineering of the film. If you could say a few words how you developed the sound of the film. And if you allow me a second question, I want to understand a little bit about the production engineer of a movie like that. If we had could have an idea of budget, how long do you take to shoot the film? If you could say a few words about that. Thank you.
Sound engineering, like cinematography, I also want my sound to be determined, fixed in the shooting place. So I do the mixing, but I do very little. Only some parts where the sound became too loud, I subdue them. And also maybe I can say that during the shooting, some people might close the window, but conversely I open the window a little bit so I can hear the noises coming from outside. So as I said, like photography, I want to important things are fixed in the shooting place, not manipulated and created later, the effects later in the editing process or mixing process. And about the producing, budget is, I don't calculate the budget exactly, but I mean, because I do these things, it's so time consuming. I mean, because all these different movies are ongoing, and I cannot really distinguish one consumption from the other. So I don't know, but a few years ago I said in New York festival, I said maybe less than 100,000. I hope so. I hope it's less. And then I have myself and my co-worker, the assistant, and Kim Mini, who is a production manager also. So it is 3 people, and this one boom person come in, 4 persons. So that's about it. And then shooting takes place usually these days less than 3 weeks. Actual shooting days are usually 7 days or 8 days, sometimes less.
Thank you. Yes, one question here.
Hello, I'm Somi Kim from Korean Film Magazine Cinet 21. I have a question for actor Ha Sung-guk. And may I have a question with Korean? Is that okay? Okay, thank you. 네, 하성국 배우님 이번 영화 촬영하시면서 장소나
When
날씨,
you filmed this
로케이션 등에서
time,
어떤 영향 받으셨는지,
how were you affected
또
by
감독님
weather
최근
and
영화에서
location?
어떤 일상 안에 좀
and
무심히 놓여진 자연의 순간들이 등장하고
There
그
are
속에서
many aspects of
인물들이
nature that
사소하지만
appear in
진실한
the
교감을
films of
나누는 것
director
같습니다.
Hong
그런
Sang-soo,
경험들을
and it
전작들에서도
seems
조금씩
like you are
해오셨는데
corresponding
이번엔
with nature.
어떠셨는지 질문 드리고
How was it
싶습니다.
for you?
일단
First of all,
이번 영화 촬영했던
when we
로케이션이
filmed this time, the
우리
location
강소희 배우
was
부모님의
the
실제
house of the parents of
집이었습니다.
the
그리고 그 집이
actress Kang
실제로 산
Soo-hee.
중턱에
So it's
멋지게
really the
지어진
place where they
집이었기
live,
때문에
and it's an amazing
그
place at a
공간에
hill,
있는
at a mountain,
것만으로도
and just being able to be in this space
조금
itself
잘은 모르지만 자연 안에 있다는 그 느낌을
gave
받을
me
수가
the
있거든요.
feeling of being
그런데 거기서
in
감독님과
in the middle
촬영을
of
하게
nature,
되니까
and when we
다른
got to the
어떤
filming,
현대적인 건물이나 길에서 할 때와 또 다르게
it definitely felt
느껴지는 것들이
different than
있었던 것
filming
같습니다.
amid many modern buildings.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's one question here, and then, thank you.
Hello again. One very short question. There is a very special scene that there is a close-up to the character of the poet, when he sits and writes some lines in the beginning, and then, completely silent, and then there is a zoom out again of his face in this scene, and then, very close to the end, when he's just laying down in the evening under the light of the moon, we have a very, very strong and intensive closing on his face, a close-up, very, very close. Would you like to tell me, whatever you like to tell me, about the connection of these two scenes? I mean, I feel these two scenes are very important in the description of both poetry and the main character. But please, I would like your reflection on that.
Maybe this sounds very lazy, but I don't know. I just I write a script the day before the shooting these days. Used to be in the early morning of the shooting day, but now I changed to the day before the shooting day. I start writing, and then I wrote this scene, and I just came to me that he was just lying there, but I didn't know I was going to zoom in like that. But when I was shooting, I knew I wanted to zoom in like that. And so I cannot tell you anything. Just feels like it.
Thank you. We have time for one last question.
Hello. Malik Berkati, JMAG, Switzerland. In a previous film, you made the film totally blurry, and here you are playing with the focus. Sometimes it's blurred, sometimes not. Could you explain a little bit about this aspect?
Again, it's very it sounds irresponsible, but it just I felt like doing it. You know, so in the very first day of shooting, I sometimes have a. I'm not sure whether I should go this direction or not. Think that because once I shoot the first day of shooting, then I follow that. I should stick to the line. So first day of shooting sometimes is very difficult. The writing and the cinematography, both. And then when I was shooting this film, the first day, I just felt maybe I should make it little out of focus. Just a little bit. And I just liked it. So, yeah.
Thank you. One very, very last question here, and then we have to wrap up. I'm sorry.
First of all, I want to thank you. My name is Mahari Segit, African Refugee News. In your films, you always have symbols. You came with a cat, then the other way was the bottle with this drink, I don't know what it is. And then in this film you have two. You have the hands and the car. The hands goes in your lunch, and the car goes at the end, broken up. It's like that his life is finished. He will not be a poet, he will be nothing. So when I see your films, I always go back to the Louvre. I go back to Truffaut. What is the connection that you have with these big directors? Because I know you lived in France and you studied there, so can you tell us more about it?
I'm very sorry, I really couldn't catch your main...
My name?
No.
The main question is about the symbols you use in your films.
Symbols?
The first time you used the cat.
Cat, and then this one
and you
is
got the
car.
symbol there. And then now you use a car, an old car, and you use also the hands. But then you find in lunch. When you lunch, I see you're eating hands, you know?
I don't know, because for me the symbol is, how can I say, it's a kind of a easy beautification or the glorification of obvious what is known very well already. So they want to make it fresh by doing this something, some process like concentrating or making more definite angles, all kinds of things to make a symbol. But the essence of symbol is very well-known thing already. They are well-known idea. And if you agree with me, so I don't believe in symbols. I use stereotypes, and sometimes I linger on things quite long, so people are led to play with the idea of maybe that means something, but it doesn't mean anything. In that alienation of disappointment, the people have, I hope people have openings, certainly. So they are dealing with very concrete, everyday things, which they think they know very well, and then they have this certain breakage or opening. So it is a kind of, you know what I mean? It's not symbols.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all. We have to wrap this press conference. Thank you very much to the team.